Good morning. Welcome to Community Voice. I'm your host, Keith Parris. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning as we embark on another journey through life for the next 2 hours. So I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the program. Good morning, Devo. Good morning, Michelle.
Top of the morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Carvey. Get Carvey's mic over there for me.
We need to get Carvey. Oh, Mike
good
policy.
morning.
Mike policy.
What's up, man?
Good morning.
All right.
Carvey, like, also, this is what we doing. I ain't never loved nobody.
I was telling them yesterday, man, y'all was ripping Carvey, and I was listening to Carvey's tone. It had changed. You know, you be messing with somebody, and then they go like, "I ain't taking it no more." So Carvey was just like, "Yeah, I don't know what he messing with me over here."
No, see, I wasn't even in the room. They were getting me.
Oh no, you was getting him.
No, I was getting Jermaine.
He was talking about my marinade.
Yeah, man. Why you do that, man?
Yesterday, I didn't say nothing
You
about
did.
his
Yes, you
marinade.
did.
You did.
Come out in the morning. I didn't say nothing about Carvey yesterday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I was in the morning. You were listening.
Early in the morning.
See, Michelle starts all of that stuff, man. She manipulates.
She's been a troublemaker since.
You know, Jermaine was all right. She done tainted him. One of the callers said, "I don't like this new Jermaine."
New Jermaine.
This new
I don't like his
Jermaine
jacket.
coming in with them fits and stuff on him. You know, he was a little worked up yesterday on account of I had talked about his eyewear, you know.
You know what's so crazy? And I don't know if he noticed. I'm looking at his face like, what's up with the glass? I didn't say nothing about it.
You just did.
I just looked.
You just did.
Let me do a cleanup on this would be out for. I could not. We were talking Monday, and we were talking about the Dr. Dre, and I could not think of the New York rapper. And it was Ed Lover and Dr. Dre,
yeah,
and they did the movie Who's the Man? Because we were talking about disorderlies with the fat boys.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it hit me when I got home. Yeah, Ed Lover and Dr. Dre. Michelle,
Sir,
how are you?
I am good.
You're spending a whole lot of time in church, sister.
Trust me, she needs it. She needs
She's spent a whole lot of time in church.
I will be glad when November 6th is here.
Man, it's just like because there is a gospel get out for Jesus.
A gospel get out for Jesus.
Yeah, it don't sound too cool.
What is a gospel get out?
Get out
No,
for Jesus.
Help
for
me
Jesus.
understand what a gospel.
But there is a gospel concert that they're having as part of the Get Out the Boat effort
Yes, that's on November 1st
over at Union Hill. Yeah.
Who's on the program?
Lakeisha named there's like 4 different church choirs.
That's the one y'all said y'all gonna let Jermaine sing on.
Yeah, he gone.
Yeah, I heard y'all speaking too. Yeah.
And then speaking of strolls to the polls, over at Greater Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church, 2479 North Sherman Boulevard, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So they are going to come together and walk to Washington Park Library to vote.
They don't have to walk far. That line is probably going to be down to the church. Because that line yesterday was long. So it won't be a long march. You just be getting in line.
Let me say this though. You know,
Urban League and the church
you,
is doing that one. Oh, wait.
Folks are always hinting and hawing about the churches need to get involved. It sounds like
Very much.
I'm hearing a lot of churches that you don't typically hear a lot about. I know Mount Zion has something going on. Different churches are getting involved that are typically not engaged, if you will, publicly.
Well, I think what has happened is that people are realizing that a lot of the smaller churches get overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people are looking to partner, they think about churches that do large numbers because you're trying to get more bang for buck.
Right.
And trying to get in front of more people. And I tell people, no, you're not supposed to leave any stone unturned. You talk to everybody. And a lot of the smaller churches, and this is going to sound kind of crazy, but a lot of these churches work really hard and they really are close to the ground. Some of the bigger churches, mega churches, Yeah.
Some of them tend to be a little bit more conservative in terms of their leadership.
They do, because a lot of them have schools, which usually is tied up in the choice money and Republicans.
No child left behind.
Yeah, so you get some different looks when you try to deal with the bigger churches. But I think a lot of it is, it's almost like the phenomena like with G's Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Any organization that is looking to come into town and connect with Black male voters, they always say G's Clippers. It's become a double-edged sword, for G, because number one, he's created an atmosphere in which civic engagement is encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
But you have smaller barbershops who would love to have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But people, and I try to tell people, because I've talked to some of these barbers and they get offended. I'm like, y'all, it's about volume. And, and number two, letting people know you want to do it.
Well, the other part is
if you let people know,
return on investment. I mean, you're in business, and it's all business related in some way. You're looking for the biggest bang for your buck, as you said.
And so that's the other piece of it. But if you want to get involved, trust me, people will figure out a way for you to be engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And just speaking real quick, the women of AKA Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority is having a party at the polls event. This event is happening. What day is it? Man, there's so much going on. What day is this?
But it's great.
Saturday.
It is great.
Everybody's doing it Saturday.
Let me see.
But it's great, man. It's a great feeling. It's a great energy.
Oh, there's this tomorrow.
Okay, where?
Wait, no. What's today?
Today is
the 24th.
Yeah.
This one already happened.
Oh, okay.
Whoever sent me this one already happened.
You eating your chips?
Because it was
So we can hear you.
Yeah, this one was October 23rd, 4:30.
Let me turn that off for you. Don't eat your chips, man.
Wait, when did they send me this? Did I miss this one? No, they sent it to me today.
Oops.
Yeah, the person who sent me the party to the polls with the AKAs, that happened yesterday. Let me send me the old stuff.
Yesterday.
Don't be silly.
So you sent it to a Delta.
Yeah.
You sent it to a Delta.
I know.
Next day.
Let's do that.
Oh, by the way, you missed this one.
They ain't really want me at it. Consider me.
I bet you every AKA got it on.
Yeah, AKA's got it on time. They ain't tell me about it.
You know the Delta's about
this
it.
mess. You wasn't really trying to invite me.
A lot of stuff you don't get to invite.
Yeah, really? You thought you should add that?
Oh, man.
You cut up.
Phone lines open 414-444-5250, 414-444. That would have my voice. 444-5250.
Everybody partying at the polls, man. I ain't never seen this many parties ever.
Which means that there is a
Party at the
certain
polls.
trepidation
About
that I'm feeling about the election.
do you
And because I don't.
whoever put that box of Kleenex on your side, I just want to praise Jesus. Just thank you so much.
I put one on the other side too. There it is. We certainly want to.
Dude, I didn't really want you to acknowledge it. I just
why you bring it up? I don't need no attention.
Clearly, you
It's just
do.
that I pay attention.
I did it.
Yeah, that would be me.
And like Gary said,
That would
threw
be
his
me.
hand all up. That was
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Oh man, get you. Ooh.
Any way to be accommodating to the great hosts and hostesses that we have here.
We just got tired of his snot being all over
Thank you,
everything.
man,
That's
'cause my
all.
allergies kick
That's
in
all.
as soon as I
Now
walk
you didn't have to acknowledge
sure.
all of that.
Well, all I gotta do is watch him on Facebook. He forever gotta wipe his
Oh, they used
nose.
to hear me.
Yeah, like dude, like having that little kid in the 3rd grade.
And
in
don't
your
let
class.
Keon give me popcorn.
What happens if you get popcorn?
Oh, you can hear me chewing, and he
Oh,
And
like kind of like
popcorn.
Carvey,
yeah,
trying to discreetly.
and it sounds good. You know, why is it? And phone lines open on this call. I'm gonna grab you. Why is it that everybody else's stuff seems better? Have you
They
ever
make
been to
it sound
somebody's
so
house and
good.
listened to their stereo system? You go like, damn, it sounds
Because
good.
they stuff do be better. I mean,
You
let's
gonna
just say
take
that.
You gonna take that, Keith? I know you invest in your sound.
I
No,
mean,
but I'm saying, but you get in some cars. And you be going like,
look,
yeah.
now the AKAs want to clean up their stuff. They say, my bad. Okay, there's another one. This one, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Party at the Polls, is happening Tuesday, October 29th, 1125 North 9th Street. Where is that at?
11.
Oh, that's downtown.
Is that Marquette? 1129.
That'd be around
1125 North 9th Street.
No Studio. Isn't that down?
I don't know where that's at.
I think that's down in the Parris complex.
Oh, that's MATC.
MATC. Okay.
No, that's not it.
No, it could be no.
You think it's No Studios?
I think it is. I don't know. Caller, welcome to the program.
No.
Yeah,
Coach's
good morning,
Restaurant.
everyone.
Yeah, that's part
Good
of the
morning.
Parris complex.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
That's good. Anyway, what I'm calling about is I've been to the Clinton Roast twice, the early vote.
Uh-huh.
But if you could put an announcement out and kind of like try to find the times out, because they had two like elderly people that walk over there on walkers,
Mm-hmm.
and let them know it doesn't open till 12.
Ooh. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, so a lot of people are turning
Did
around
some-
because they thinking it's open at 8 or 9. I thought it was 9 too, but from the inside they said no, 12 o'clock.
That's so janky.
Yeah.
So if y'all could just put out an announcement, because a lot of those people walk from the nursing the home over there and different things.
Right.
Right.
up there on
No,
King
you're
Drive.
absolutely
What are they,
right.
12 to what time do they close? 12 to 5? What is it?
I'm pulling it up now.
I don't know. I was just upset about the people on the walk.
Well, somebody
Yes,
had
ma'am.
called in and said the King Center. And
No.
it isn't. Well, I found that out. Because and it just kind of set this up. Yesterday, I took my godson to vote. We went to the Capitol Drive location, 60th and Capitol. The lines were out the door, and we find out now why the lines are a little bit longer because of a glitch. They just overwhelmed 97,000 votes yesterday. So, so we said, okay, let's go to Washington Park. No, we went there. We go to Washington Park. That line is out the door. And so then I said, I thought I heard the King Center. So I go by the King Center, and boy, you love when you walk in and you wrong. Hey, we all vote here. No, let me say that's not what the sister did. Sister was very nice.
Sure she did.
No, she's very nice. And so then I realized he's a student at MATC. Like, well, why don't we just go to MATC? Here's the interesting thing, though. We went to the S building with student services, and I asked him, "So where the S building?" I've been in the S building. Well, because the world we live in now, a lot of financial aid stuff is done online. You're not doing anything in person. Those of us from a certain generation could tell you, we used to call financial aid day slave day. Because what would happen is we put on our POAS clothes to go in and get those financial aid checks. You got to sign them. Oh, because we didn't want to look like we were going to be looking once we got the checks. So we coming in looking like we eligible. We looking like we eligible.
Like, I sure appreciate this. Y'all just don't know. Y'all just don't know what this done did for me.
Really?
Yeah.
All that.
I like that. I sure appreciate
I sure appreciate that.
I sure appreciate that.
Man, I didn't know how I was going to make it.
I didn't know.
But you already had the check coming. So what was the need to put on?
I don't know why we did financial aid.
You didn't want to look like you didn't need the check.
The check. I don't know.
Look like
But you already had been awarded the check.
Well, that's,
Yeah, but we don't.
that translates into
We black
going down
people,
to the
we don't
welfare
think
office. You
you
don't
can
go
change.
down to the
don't-
welfare office in
don't-
your
don't-
Sunday go to
don't
meeting
look at it to be
clothes. You
black
go down
No,
there
we
looking
black
like
people.
you
We
need that
trust
money.
for the system.
I went to go pick up my financial aid check, just like I look like I'm on my way to the spot.
She dressed up.
You're a little.
Hey,
That's
because I just want to be able to run by the bank and then keep the train moving. I ain't got time to go home and switch back into my window.
I'm on my way to the club, so
That's all right. Yeah, we ain't got to pretend.
Run me
with my
that
money.
check, yeah, I can't pick up that. Yeah. Come on now. Hank. Brian. B-R-Y. Why
At
can't you
6
find it?
p.m. So I need to get this, get it deposited, and then go to Mo's. Come on.
Go to
No, really? It shouldn't take that long. I called ahead.
That's all I'm saying.
I
So all
called
the
ahead and told you I'm
pretense
coming.
y'all was doing, why was that necessary? I already had the check. It wasn't like they was making a
Don't that
decision.
really tick you off though when you call ahead for something and you get there and it still ain't ready?
Oh, speak quick. Now, but let me do this. The online orders is ready. No, online. But I remember call Speed Queen and say, hey, da-da-da-da-da, you get here. Because they figured like you may or may not show up.
Yeah, because if you don't prepay for that order.
Right. You don't prepay. Now they sit up and going like, oh, put it on. He just came in.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I have called Speed Queen. I said, hey, Y'all got any outside shoulder? Yeah, we got some. Okay, I'm on my. Hey, put that aside for Debo. Man, get down. We all out outside. I call ahead. Well,
no, one day.
What's outside shoulder? Oh,
you don't.
What is that?
No, it's like you got the shoulder, but they cut the outside layer off. That's where the char and that whole piece is. It's really flavorful.
A lot of
fat, tender.
So that's what you say. I want some outside shoulder.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, outside shoulder.
Okay, I'm gonna go order some because I just need to know what outside shoulder is.
You'll enjoy it.
Cool.
Now this is what you say. You cool?
Yeah.
You don't eat meat?
Not no shoulder.
Why not?
This dude don't eat
Have you
chicken.
had shoulder before?
Is it pork?
Yes, my brother.
Yes, my brother. Yes, my brother.
The Nation of Islam wants you to know it is pork.
Yes, my brother. It is pork.
So you don't eat pork?
Nah, see. I'm not gonna say that. I eat pork. Just certain pork I don't eat.
Oh,
So have you ever had shoulder?
No.
That's good.
So then, first rule of the day, you gotta try something before we say we don't eat it. Now, some stuff you don't have to try. Like, I'm never gonna try sushi.
He didn't eat
it. Looks disgusting. I'm never gonna eat sushi.
I like the tuna.
I love
In fact,
sushi.
I want to try
I
sushi.
like the raw tuna. I don't do the other fishes, but I like the raw tuna.
Yeah,
sushi.
I didn't think it.
Oh.
I didn't think I would like
You
it
eat
either, but I eat it.
It's good, especially
How
the dipping
often? How
sauces.
often do
Those
you
dipping
eat
sauces, man.
sushi?
How often? He said, how often do you eat sushi?
I go to Pick and Save. They have like the Monday sushi special.
You there every Monday?
Not every.
Did you ever
Monday,
go to
but-
Benihana's?
Yeah, before they.
For cooked food. Not for raw.
For cook food. I think you can get sushi, right?
Yeah, but they
You good, but I prefer my cooked.
at Metro Mart down here on Oakland. I go there because they got a little Chinese guy back there making it.
Asian. You don't know if he's Chinese.
Sorry about
Asian.
that. Sorry about that. Whatever he is.
I know he's not
Like,
trying to be politically correct.
Like,
know.
yeah, I talking about Jap slapping someone. Hey!
I know it's authentic.
Jap
they're
slapping
making
was
it
the
fresh
was
on the spot.
man.
I don't know, we
I
can,
bet you if somebody said it, everybody knew what was getting ready to happen.
And we felt so bad yesterday for and she did text back. We were having a conversation with Chairwoman Nicholson, and she was talking about picnic, and she kept saying picnic. And watching Kwaku and
Cringe.
and I'm cringing.
Yeah.
And she went picking it up, and then she said when she got in the car, she realized, oh, so she texted Kwaku saying that she realized why we were having the reaction.
Rev
'Cause we had-
Myers ended up just
right.
teaching that in her Black History class.
We had
Yeah.
I watched the playback from Be Healthy Be You.
Okay.
When Shakina and Tasha were here,
right.
and somebody said picnic, you did, and she threw a little fist up. She's like, wait, my brother. So yeah, that's been a thing this week. We certainly don't use the word
Picnic. Which was and that's fascinating because there are theories around it where it came from, but I think what Black folks said, whether that was the origin of the word picnic, we do know that at lynching parties they had picnics, and so we associate picnics with lynching, and so that's why look at the consciousness of our people has certainly been raised, because if you see something, ain't nobody throwing no picnic. They throwing a cookout,
barbecue.
I mean, but just like, and let me just say this real quick. Clinton Rose, the voting time is from 12 to 5 p.m. and on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For folks that are listening.
You better get there at those times.
But that's just like once I realized that language around saying master bedroom and master bath, that it literally was connected to slavery. And it was the master's quarters. And so people have become very, very conscientious about how they reference that. They don't call it that master bedroom and the master bath anymore.
What do you call it now? Just the big room?
No, hang on, because
Daddy's room.
What?
Daddy's wrong.
Yeah, Daddy got the big room. Daddy got the big piece of chicken.
Yeah.
414-445-2504.
I try to figure out how somebody could survive without eating chicken.
Me?
Oh, Michelle, you love this.
What?
Let me send this to you, sister.
Sister, oh, it's about to be some mess.
Let
my
me,
If you said sister,
let me send this to you, my sister. I saw this morning. I was upset.
As
So in real estate, they say they now call it the primary bedroom.
I'm glad.
There was another word I had heard.
But
yeah, primary bedroom.
All right. See if this gets you angry. Just send it to
angry.
If it gets you
Trying to
angry,
set off.
let me see if this gets you angry.
You sent it to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
There's an article that was
have
in
Meach
the
call back if you're trying to set her off.
this was in the Root.
Get her
Actually,
gander.
I saw it this morning, and but it was done on October the 10th by Phoenix. Oh, I like it. I like that name, Phoenix Haley. It's a beautiful name.
I like that too.
Yeah. Okay, let me read a little bit. It says in the middle, and this is from the UK. So this is a while back. It says in the middle of October, which is ironically UK's Black History Month. Oh, I didn't know that they do Black History Month in October. Heinz released a series of public ad posters promoting family-sized pasta sauces. The ad depicts a wedding reception where the black bride sits in the middle of the table, completely overjoyed while eating pasta. To her right sits her white groom's mother and father. On the left, the groom and what looks like the bride's black mother appears. Keep reading, continue reading. To the average non-black passerby, the ad is a harmless, fun take on modern weddings of an interracial and interracial couple simply eating pasta, but black people are doing a double take for the reasons way too familiar and hurtful. Where is the bride's father?
Right.
The groom has both of the parents pictured, but what's up with only the bride's black mom being shown? We all know she has a dad. We all have dads. So why did Heinz go out their way not to include the bride's dad on her special day? One ex-user at Feminist on Marx said, what a remarkable, absurd choice of representation. One finds racism even in cans, it seems.
Wow.
Despite studies claiming black men are the most attentive dads compared to other races, the deadbeat dad stereotype persists. Now, this is interesting because this is England, right?
I'm still the same.
Black folks on social media continue to call Heinz out for perpetuating racist stereotypes against the black community. On X, author of Think Like a White Man, a satire, nails Abby quoted rapper Nas writing, for my brothers with daughters, because believe it or not, black girls have dads too. Clearly outraged by Heinz' tone deafness. If you believe this ad isn't the only one people calling racist. Another poster, this time promoting ketchup, hits the streets. And once again, black people feeling like they are catching strays. I got to get to English with British. In this new, come on, man. Damn. Sorry about that.
You're on the radio, man.
I know. I'm just frustrated with, maybe I should pay to be part of where's the bride's father and X. Let's go. Okay, X. And if you can believe that, then there's another racist poster. In their new Smiles campaign, the ketchup company portrays a series of people eating burgers with tons of Heinz ketchup around their mouths. Once again, the average viewer probably wouldn't think twice about the creepy Joker-inspired posters. But for the black community, historical context is everything, regardless of intention. Black people often feel these ads walk a dangerous close line to historic minstrel shows where blackface and racist caricatures are still haunting black folks to this day. But it could be Heinz made an innocent mistake, or were these ads perfectly placed to gain attention? So,
yeah, no,
should I boycott Heinz?
Yeah, I saw it probably about a week ago, and I saw the actual ad. And yep, there she is, little black girl sitting there, her white husband, his mom and dad sitting to her right, and her mother was sitting next to him, and it was a black woman, and that was the end of the picture. And he was just like, okay, so where the daddy at?
I could tell you in some of the most dysfunctional black family situations, dad is at the wedding.
I mean,
yeah. Even if mom and dad aren't together anymore,
Dad at the wedding
still show up
at the wedding.
And
that study that they talked about,
because he'll give her away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's there. That's his role.
Can we still give away brides?
Well, I guess we can. I know but my dad, my mom actually wasn't at my wedding, but my dad was.
Who gave you away?
My dad. And but he was trifling when he was walking down the aisle.
Your daddy was
like,
trifling?
I was trifling. He was like, you ain't got married this right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad. Right as I'm walking down there.
I'm like, hey, bro, we is like steps away. He was like, I'm just saying.
You always wonder what the dad be saying to, because most times they are talking. When they're coming down
that was my dad, because my daddy completely believes in, he supports feminism and women being independent.
Independence, yeah.
He raised, us to be strong, opinionated, assertive. Like, my dad just didn't believe that. He wanted sons, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so he raised us all to be just real tough, and then he finally did get his youngest child.
So I got him.
I got one brother now.
For your toughness.
You do. You can call Jerry Malachi anytime and tell him Gerald. And tell Malachi you said I appreciate you, bro.
I wonder, because now I'm thinking back, and wow, this is
public. Getting old here, waiting while you're thinking.
I know, no. It's public record, so
getting old waiting.
What those private things? But Gary
I'm dying here, Keith.
Gave Rondo away. Yeah, because Mr. Benny wasn't alive, so it was Gary George.
George.
Yeah,
the honor of giving away my best friend's wife to him.
Giving away.
Okay.
Hell, I didn't know her, so.
Well, how do we?
Somebody had to walk her down the aisle, and so I did.
No.
No, I did. They ain't together no more. But...
you didn't get nobody away.
Yeah, I get.
Well, that's what
you just walked her down the aisle.
That's what I want to get to. Is that still an appropriate?
I mean, if you're the daddy, then you can give, your daughter's hand.
But the whole giving away was that you gave the dowry.
Mm-hmm.
That was.
My daddy did all that.
Your daddy did what?
Gave away the dowry.
What dowry did you have?
Mind your business.
How many goats and pigs did your daddy?
My daddy gave out Cadillacs.
Wow.
Cadillacs and houses.
So, but it is. I think it's antiquated. I think that it's something that maybe who escorts her down the aisle. There's a lot of traditions there that you wonder. Like, for example, I think the veil is supposed to be what? Virginity?
Mm-hmm.
Purity. And a lot of them ain't got no business with no veil on.
I just saying.
Man,
but you know what?
You be at that church and you listen to them old sisters.
Speaking
what that heifer doing with that white on? She knows she ain't
what
pure.
colors your brothers be wearing in? What colors your men be wearing? Because everybody be worried about the bride's virginity and purity.
Lord, I don't know why she had on that white dress.
But again, don't nobody do that to the men.
That you supposed to have on white if you're
no
pure.
Expectation for the men to come to be virtuous and be, free of disease and all of that. There's no expectation.
She ain't nowhere in the world she's pure. She got 3 years.
There's no expectation.
I don't know why how that man gonna say that woman already got 10 kids.
Be pure.
He
no expectation. They be like just came from a raunchy stank bachelor party. The night before the wedding, not even 24 hours. They was at some little trampy bachelor party doing God knows what. Don't nobody worry about men.
We don't have bachelorette parties.
We don't have what?
Bachelorette parties?
Bachelorette.
Let-ettes?
What do you mean we don't have them?
The same thing dudes are throwing now, women are throwing.
Well, they've been doing them. That's not new.
Say again.
Y'all just didn't know.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you.
Right. Well, I knew.
You didn't know.
I just didn't know what they do, Adam. We never know. Yeah.
But so you making sexism in that moment. Don't nobody care
From a
how
religious
trifling the groom
from
has
a religious
been
standpoint.
leading up to that point.
Isn't that white dress supposed to?
What is supposed to signify it for the dude?
Purity.
Why is there no expectation that dudes be pure? Why is there?
Because we got to figure it out.
What?
We got to figure it
Come on,
out.
Carver.
You got to figure out what?
Now, if you're going to help. Now, don't hurt us, man.
You got to figure out what?
What we getting into. I hear you, Carver.
You know what?
Man.
Turn that mic off.
I told you the other day.
Turn that mic off. We gotta figure it out.
But no, I mean it is
What color do y'all wear?
Huh?
If y'all ain't pure, what color is y'all supposed to wear?
black.
White.
Now-
Most times
now
we
you
wear
do it.
black.
Great.
No,
Racism and slavery. Why black gotta
Well,
be
I don't
impure?
think the
Early
white
morning.
dressers. I don't think white dressers now as much because you don't see. I think women are. You do white because it might be stylish and it's part of what you want to do for your wedding.
The
and your
majority of
color
wedding
scheme.
dresses they come white.
Right.
But they're white for purity purposes.
Alleged
They
pure.
used to be.
It used to be.
Now,
So now
don't
they
nobody
just-
believe that now.
Well, then get off white. Don't get.
No, white. You can
Or
You can wear
white.
whatever color you
Yeah,
want
cream.
to. Cream. You can wear whatever color.
I'm
I
turning
went
that
to a
mic
wedding-
off. He said with cream.
I went to a wedding where sister, she had a black dress on.
She was
her wedding
mourning.
dress was black.
She was already
Oh.
mourning.
It was
Prom-
cold though. Oh my God. that dress
Prominent
was cold.
pastor in Memphis, Ray.
Mhm.
I can't think of Ray's first name.
Charles.
No, I can't think of first. But when he got married to the second wife, the whole bridal party was in black leather, and I'm talking fitted black leather. I guess you know that marriage didn't last long.
Didn't sound like it should ever happen.
Black leather.
They had on black leather. So I mean, I think, and look, my mother is so profound. She said, "Look, for us as black people, 2 big days, because we talk about limos, 2 big days for us: weddings and funerals, and we go all out, for weddings and for funerals. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, it takes more time."
Unless you go to
For the
court.
bridal party to get in, the wedding party to get in, than the actual ceremony.
Yeah.
And people got steps, and it's just like, come on down, let's get married, let's go home.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, when you spend 50,000, you don't want to go home.
And let me tell you, I no longer marry people for free. I no longer marry. Me and Jermaine was talking. I think me and Debo was talking about
Yeah,
that.
ain't nothing free no more.
Man, they'll pay the DJ, but they won't pay the minister.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to the courthouse,
Trust me, they try to cut corners on the DJ. Too.
yeah, if you go to the courthouse, if you go to the courthouse, it's $300 bucks
I
to
mean,
get
well,
married.
I think that
It's cheap.
like
Pick
we
With the
didn't.
judge performance?
$3,000 for
We
her
always
dress.
gave, yeah,
but they
people
don't wanna
always
give me
gave
my
something to
money.
the pastor. I don't think the pastor had a fee. Like they said, I charge $500 for weddings.
I will if you're not.
But I think back in the day, you just automatically gave something to the pastor, like we gave something to the church. Even though this is my, well, I didn't get married at church. I got married at
Club.
at the
Club
club.
Shade.
Club Shade.
let me help you. Let me help you,
Let me
broke
help you.
Negroes. I got married at
Broke
1451
Negroes.
North Prospect Avenue,
What is that?
the Renaissance place, boo.
Oh, over there.
$250 an hour minimum to rent it back
Yeah.
in the 80s.
The Renaissance.
So
Yeah,
I just want to be
remember
clear.
It's a
I got
gorgeous-
married
gorgeous
at the
place.
Renaissance.
You know what that
place.
used to
Very,
be, right?
very
Thank
ritzy.
That used to be an old Christian Scientist church.
Well,
Really?
I'm
Is
talking
that what it
about
was?
Club.
Shay, shay.
Let me be
We've had
clear.
many-
Don't we get
we've
all
had many
sensitive about
parties.
your
Weddings.
That's right.
We've had many parties in the Renaissance.
Somebody loved me twice. Don't get mad. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
Oh
Come on, at the
man.
club.
Shay,
Negro,
shay.
He said
all
the
my
club.
stuff. My dress costs more than people's whole wedding. Let me be
See,
clear.
see.
502.
Who was your DJ?
My dress.
Who's your DJ?
Ew,
I didn't have a deal.
Thank
live
you.
band.
Thank you.
I had a
Frank
live
Ray.
band.
Pastor Frank Ray. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Yes. Had a pianist who played Sun Ribbon in the Sky
Hey.
and from Mouth. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Someone just
Some at
said.
the bar.
Someone just said this to me. King, read Robert Randall's *The Debt*, where his research provides evidence that the word picnic does come from auctions off of our people.
Wow.
Because he said auctions, but we talked about picking a nigga to hang. That's where that phrasing comes from.
Yeah, but I too had heard it was more so about buying, slave trade. Yeah.
Either way, it involved us.
Right.
Wow.
It always gets back to
So no more picnics, folks. We're gonna have cookouts,
Oh, yeah.
barbecues, and gatherings, and
And let me tell you who might be slow to this. Churches. When you're still doing your annual
Churches still be
picnic.
talking about the annual picnic.
Yeah, we might want to take a look at that and call it our annual cookout.
you be the one that advocate for it at your church. Tell your pastor, we don't use the word picnic around here no more. That's the way the sisters sound. You know?
What church are you at right now? No, because I'm gonna be joining it. What church are you gonna be at? Because I'm gonna be looking for one.
New Direction.
New Direction.
Baptist.
Is that Dr. Wesley?
No.
New Direction. Oh,
Jared Williams.
Jared Williams. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're listening to Community Voice Throwback Thursday.
Show's going to church with me Sunday.
414-444-5250.
What church is this?
444-5250.
New Direction.
Where's that at?
You'll be back home by 9:30.
Over off of Brown. 20th and Brown. You know where that Popeyes is? There's two churches that sit
Right there
off.
at 21st and Garfield.
Yeah. Jared Williams is a great preacher.
I don't know if you ever heard of Betty Hayes.
Dr. Betty Hayes.
Yeah, it was her former church.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has now.
And he merged his church with the church that was there already.
Right. And that's
So what time they service start?
9:30.
You said like you ain't sure.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
I mean, it
Like you
varies.
ain't
I mean,
been.
I ain't going to Sunday school.
Like you
and all
don't
that
know.
stuff. I haven't been in a minute. You know. I don't
you
know
still
if
know
my
where it
name-
is? Yeah, moved on you, have it. You come over to church to move.
I don't know if my name's still on the road.
And then I say, I'm
They
here
still let me
as
in.
a guest. Remember back in the day when you went to church and they said we have guests? If you stood up, you would tell who you were a guest of.
Right.
Yeah, if I say I'm a guest of Darren DeVoe, they're gonna be
They're
like,
gonna be like, who?
He's still on the road. It means that callers, we're gonna get you. It means something though when you have celebrities who come to hear you.
Right.
So I was very fortunate one Sunday to have both Michelle Bryant and Lakeisha Myers
it's so ridiculous.
and Devon Jones.
Keon in there.
Keon showed that's right. Keon fell in love with our musician Chris. That's his guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when Chris heard that Keon died, he's like, man, that's it. Because what he always called red suit. All right, you listen to Community Voice. Callers, don't go anywhere. We're going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back.
My name
So
not we, y'all. So we clear.
Let me ask you a question.
I talk.
Let me ask you a question. When you gonna get with the program?
Which program would that be?
With us?
Oh, what are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking
One team,
about.
one dream.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get you on the team.
Just come on with it. Yeah, plan.
You did not say one team, one dream.
We are one team. We are one team.
Cats up in here, man. You walk on eggshells up
Like
in
that.
this
One
joint.
team, one dream.
You be scared about your outfit because everybody gonna light you up.
I've come to the conclusion. I don't care. I don't even care no more.
Anything
I just
can turn you into the butt of a joke up in this camp.
Yeah.
One
'Cause
team,
I'm still
one
trying
dream.
to figure out what
What is
trail
the
of what you say. Trail of what did you say? I was leaving yesterday.
Them soup flakes.
Soup flakes. And then Jermaine hollers out, "Yeah, he leaving a trail of them all through the station." Soup flakes.
But
This all
somebody asked
still
me,
goes back to
somebody asked
Keon's
me
funeral.
why was Carver talking about
with the
soufflés
noisy-
in the studio yesterday. I said he was not saying soufflés, he said soup flakes.
So you know that at Keon's funeral, Kyrie says,
Here we go.
"Hey man, I couldn't really enjoy the service, man. I couldn't hear." I said, "Why you couldn't hear, Kyrie?" "Man, your suit was singing. It was
Suit
making
was
noises.
noisy.
It was
He said
noisy."
he had on a noisy
He
suit.
said my suit was saying, "Lord, I don't know what I do."
Getting up, but
We had a
If I
buddy.
didn't man, come on. I
And
said,
he
I ain't
comes
gonna
in
say
the
nothing about you and the old lady.
And he go like, "Well, how did you know it was me, man? We heard that suit all the way across, all the way across campus
with soup flakes.
It was a little loud. All the Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Keith. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. You know, one thing I'm envious of you guys
Dang.
because you guys are in this presidential election. You guys are a swing state.
Yeah, our votes
You guys get to see you guys get to see the presidents and the vice president come to your state.
Mm-hmm.
Where I live, they don't even come at all.
Where do you live?
Colorado.
I live in Colorado. They never come at all.
I thought
They know
Colorado was a
just
purple state. Is Harris doing well in Colorado?
Well, they said she's up by 11 points,
Yeah, she's doing
but we'll see.
Your folks are here.
Who?
So, I mean, I'm just saying that I wish my state was like you're a swing state. You used to be a swing state.
You
And
could
when we
move
were a
here, you
swing
know.
State,
We'll accept you. You could move here.
I don't know. I can take your winners. There may not be enough black folks for me there, okay?
Yeah, I know that. But you know what? Our winners haven't been, as I knock on wood, has not been like we're going to be close to November, and it's going to be in the 70s. You know, now maybe we had that back in the day when I was growing up.
But this, I'm told, is global warming.
Yeah, well, and El Nino, and so you know we got that going on. It's supposed to be more precipitation, but we haven't had a lot of rain. It's been dry, but it's been warm
today, just a little bit.
A little bit. We can. Hey, at this point, my grass don't need it. And the interesting thing about Colorado and Denver is you can get a snowstorm and then it'd be 70 the next day.
That has happened. Those could be 15 below zero
Right.
for weeks.
Oh man, we had that. We got caught in the vortex here, man. It was 26 below every day. I mean, we couldn't even come to a radio station. It was that cold. So yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it's rare. I'm just saying it's rare. And then because we're so close to the Canadian border, and there are parts who really get hit with winter. But look, you can live in Buffalo, New York. You live in Syracuse, New York. They get winter. And I'm surprised they haven't had a snowstorm yet. It's October. They haven't had one yet. So
let me ask you another question too. Are you guys familiar with that black kid, the one who wound up getting killed by the police here in Aurora?
was that the one where
Elijah McClain?
Yeah, they gave him. Yeah, I'm familiar with the case. What happened was they gave him something. Was it Narcan or something? And he basically
he wound up dying. It was said he has excitability or something like that.
Right.
And then he wound up dying. And then he went from because they gave him too much for his body weight.
Right.
And then they sentenced some of the people. They sentenced one guy who was the paramedic to 5 years.
Wow.
And I haven't heard anything about it. Then they turn around there and the international firefighters, they let the guy off. They pleaded his case and they went through the trial, and now they gave him 5 years probation.
Yeah, that case is amazing.
I mean, I think that stinks.
But back in the day,
I haven't heard anything about anybody talk about that. I haven't heard Jesse. I haven't heard anybody. I mean, they outright killed the kid, but I haven't heard anybody talk about. I heard about the one in Illinois, but I haven't heard anything talk about the. And then they gave him 5 years originally. Then they went to pleaded his case to the international firefighters. They only gave him 5 years probation.
But and I know that people think he should do time, but he still will be a convicted felon, right?
I guess you do 5 years probation, but he's not going to jail. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay. And you're thinking he should?
And I'm saying is he should have gone to jail, because he and everything else like that. But he just said 5 years probation.
And that was, but then you elect your judges. So whoever that judge was, I would assume that people, if they could, that would be something they would use against his reelection.
I guess. I mean, but these things people tend to forget. They're in Adams County,
right?
Brighton's the county seat. There's black people living there. Parts of Aurora is in Adams County, but it's kind of conservative and things like that. But it's predominantly Hispanic, about 41% Hispanic.
Okay.
The county of Adams County.
What was the ethnicity of the firefighter? Was he European?
Yeah, he was European American.
Okay.
And I'm just saying that I haven't heard anything. Like I said, I haven't heard anything about it, and I'm disappointed to not hear any.
Well, I think
about it.
in the Laquan McDonald shooting in Chicago, that's where the young man was shot 16 times by the cop. They ended up giving that cop probation.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they ended up giving probation. He didn't do any time. And
I haven't heard anything about that at all. I mean, what's the deal?
It happened when Rahm Emanuel was running for re-election, and it had happened a whole year before the public even knew, because there's people who believe that it was not only the Emanuel administration, but police who covered it up for a whole year until after the election. And then when it came out, but by that time, Rahm Emanuel had been reelected. There was a lot. And in that case, and as a matter of fact, they did a documentary called 16 Shots, which talks about everything that led up to that and then the aftermath of that. I was,
but even if they do get like Michelle's talking about, even if they do get something like the, what's it called, taking away the right for policemen where you can't sue them or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Qualified immunity.
Yeah, they take away qualified immunity. They taken away here, and people are still getting off.
Yeah,
and,
well, I think because you have the DAs who are probably reluctant, one, to even bring the charges. And then you have judges who are very sympathetic when it comes to police officers and officers involved shootings. And then if you go to a jury, depending on where you are, if you're in a situation where the majority of the jury pool does not look like the defendant, those things are real factors too. They found him
guilty. They found him guilty, but then what do they call it? He appealed. And this is when the international firefighters came in there, and they did something 5 years, and I guess the Jewish guy, he was the, what does they call him, Attorney General here? Mm-hmm. He knew how to weigh this thing too, because he was running for election, and he didn't do anything until after the election.
Right. And that's what
makes, unfortunately, that happens.
DA race is so interesting, especially in urban areas or areas where you have a diversity of your population. that they're really running on who will be more likely to come out and vote. And depending on when they have those elections, right? So if the DA's election, I think we have a DA election now, right? And the guy's running out of polls. So, and he's coming out of the DA's office. But
now this situation was the Attorney General.
Well, same difference. I mean, on the level now, the attorney generals tend to be what's the word? Depending on, because they're doing a statewide piece, right? So there are different segments of the population because it's statewide. Kamala Harris was an attorney general, wasn't she?
Yeah, attorney general.
She was attorney general before she became a U.S. senator. Yeah, it's fascinating, man.
Yeah, like I said, like I said, getting back to that, then we had some pretty wacky things on our. I saw what we're going to be voting on. This thing has got to be like this thing has to be twice the size of a Bible. All the things they want you to vote on.
Or the referendums.
To changes in the constitutions. Mm-hmm. They have some things in the cities. I mean, this thing is. I'm telling you, it's almost a booklet.
But that's democracy, right? Isn't that wouldn't that be our preference that we'd have a say in what it is, whether it's bogus or not? Yeah,
I understand that, but I'm saying is they're putting so many things in. They want to change everything in the Constitution, but what does other guys on the radio station say? He says when you change the Constitution, you got to be really careful about that because you guys can't have everything. I mean, why even have people running in the legislature if they're not even going to have people, if you're going to be changing everything in the Constitution?
Right. And I think that's what makes Donald Trump so dangerous, that he doesn't have any respect for the Constitution. I think in his mind, the Constitution gets in the way of how he thinks he should govern. And but at the same time, he benefited from those 3 Supreme Court justices that he appointed, and how they really reshaped a lot of what's happening in America. Everybody's talking about the whole Dobbs decision, but we focus on abortion, and abortion is a big issue. But for a state like Colorado, and I think they still do mining in Colorado, you could have deregulation, and Republicans always run on it. Michelle was talking about the shift. When did the Republican Party become the party of Dixiecrats? And that, I think it really made the transition in 1968. They called it the Southern Strategy. It used to be that in the South, it was Democrats, but Democratic Party in the South was a racist party. More black people because of Fannie Lou Hamer and others who opened up the process and the involvement of descendants of enslaved Africans in Democratic politics. Then there were people saying, you know what, we need to move, and Republicans saw opening. So Republicans used to be the party of big business, deregulation, libertarianism. So issues like abortion and stuff like that wasn't important to Republicans. And then in 1980, well, it started 76, Phyllis Schlafly and others, the Eagle Forum, got involved with Ronald Reagan in 76. Ronald Reagan then runs for because he lost in 76 when he ran for the nomination of the Republican Party. He ran again in 80. He won, but by this time, not only you have Phyllis Schlafly and those folks who were out, and Phyllis Schlafly and those women were against the ERA, but then abortion came up.
And was Wisconsin have choice? You can choose your choice. You can choose a school choice there in Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, Wisconsin was the first state really to do
they're trying to
school
put that
choice
in our Constitution.
Yep, and it was originally because when it first started, because of the whole separation of church and state, a lot of the schools were religiously oriented. So how do you then say you'd be supporting religious institutions, and so by government? So what they came up with was, no, what we do is we put the money in the hands of the parents, and then the parents can choose where they send their kids. And it was one of those little technical things they did to get around the whole separation of church and state, especially when it comes to support of K through 12 education. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, and this puts certain Black religious leaders, I'm going to be particular, in this bind because of them and choice money. And part of Project 2025 is to basically expand choice throughout the country. So regardless of where you are, right now choice is primarily in urban areas, but they're talking about now expanding it, right? That's part of the thing, and it puts people in a real tough situation.
And then our state right here, what they want to do is statewide.
Right.
But what they're finding out, and I told some people asked me about, and I said, based on my experience, if you have a person who has a learning disability,
right,
the private schools don't have to take the person.
That's right.
So that's right. And they're not even thinking about that. They're saying, well, we'll have choice. But they said in Colorado, we have open enrollment. We already have charter schools. You also can teach your child, what is it called? You can teach them at
homeschooling.
You can teach them homeschooling.
Yep.
And also you can teach them. You can send them to a different district in a different city, as long as you can get them there and they have openings.
And I think we have open enrollment in Wisconsin, don't we? Yeah, we have open enrollment in Wisconsin. But you're right; it's trying to get the. It depends on where you want to go, and I think the other thing is, choice is very unpopular outstate Wisconsin because they understand that there's not a separate pot of money set aside for choice. What you do is you're taking money that would go to support public education to support choice. Certainly not at the same student, whatever that per student spending is. And that's what puts choice schools in tough situations because you just mentioned disabled students. And I don't even know if choice schools would even be eligible for, is that the title? I'm trying to think. That's not Title IX. I'm trying to think of the money.
I know what you're talking about.
Title I.
You're talking about
okay.
It's
the federal monies that come in for special ed.
Issues, emotional issues.
Yep.
And so we won't take the child; they'll send him back.
Yeah, and then you look at a school district like Milwaukee Public Schools. 25% of the student body is special needs students.
Right.
That's a quarter.
I get trouble when they use special needs because I had a friend. They said she was a special needs child, and they put her in special education. But somehow she managed to persevere, and she wound up getting a bachelor's degree, and she's 20 credits from getting a master's degree. And she was teaching, and I think they said that because of the way she spoke with a kind of a drawl or something like that. She's originally from Texas, and sometimes you have trouble understanding her.
Well, I think that what we saw here, we used to call it Special C back in the day. But primarily, if you saw, that's why Monique's story was so interesting because I don't remember a lot of girls being in, and I'm putting in what we call our special C class, because what they did was they were taking male students who would be disruptive. They're disruptive for a lot of reasons, but then you discover they're disruptive because they have a learning disability. And we need to be able to differentiate. A learning disability does not mean diminished intellectual capability. It means how you learn is different than the general population. George Bush has dyslexia, right? So his learning, so everybody said he was dumb. He wasn't dumb. How he learned is different, right? And I think that
choice, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, so I'm just saying that school choice does not have to take those students. And I don't know if they're eligible. Then some of these schools, I think the charter schools would be, but I don't know about the private schools. Would be eligible.
The private schools wouldn't have to take them. They wouldn't take them.
They wouldn't take them, but I don't know if they'd be eligible for the Title I money that allows them to pay for. Because that's subsidized by, when you talk about your special needs or your special education, that's primarily subsidized by the federal government, right? I mean, that's where the bulk of their money is coming from. But if you look at an urban school district like Milwaukee, 25%. That's a lot. That's a big percentage. And those kids are not going to choice schools, right? And so MPS, and then here's the other piece that MPS has. They have a legal responsibility to educate a child up until the age of 21.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I think they're trying to do that in Texas too. They're trying to get school choice I think they're trying, like you said, they're trying to do it throughout the whole country.
Right.
And I think the people in Texas, they brought it up to Colorado. Then they're going to expand it in other states. And to say Trump doesn't get in there, they're trying to expand it, put into the Constitution. They've been running commercials against that school choice.
Right.
Another thing they've been trying to do too, and let me get your opinion. What's this thing on ranked choice voting?
You asked me about that. Well, based on your frustration with the current construction of the ballot, I can imagine the frustration people are going to have when you go in and rank voting as you go in and you rank your candidates based on preference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the person with the most ones will be the winner. I don't know if and what percentage do you need to have in order to?
I'll tell you how the way they're going to do that here. Sorry for interrupting, but the way they're going to do it here, they're going to have you have 4 choices. And let's say the first round, the first person, he doesn't get 50%. So then they're going to they're going to do something. They're going to shake it up and everything else like that. They're going to see then they're going to drop names. They're going to put who was number 4 now moves up to number 2.
Right.
And who's number 1 can move down to number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll keep on doing it until the person gets over 50%.
Right. Okay.
And so the person that you wanted to vote for, he made the person number 4, your least favorite person. He may be becoming your senator of your state, yep, or the governor of the state.
Democracy. Appreciate you, man. Let me get this next caller. They've been patient. Appreciate you, and always. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm glad you took my call.
All right. Thank you. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, what I wanted to say is, I hear a lot of people talking about voting, and I know a lot of them say they're undecided. I feel for those people who say they're undecided. Just say you're black, you're lazy, you don't feel like voting, you want the benefits and you don't want to work. Like when some black people say, I'm going to let God handle it, when they can handle it, just say you're lazy and you don't care. Number 2, we have some people who always keep talking about she's not black. Ain't none of us on this earth are 100% pure. We are all mutts when you look in the mirror. Ain't no bloodline is 100% pathetic and before, pure. Another thing I wanted to say, I've seen a lot of these reckless drivers this morning, from the young hoes to the old heads. Hit that pole since you want to drive crazy. I hope you take that car and wrap that car around that pole like a bow tie. Go out like a real OG. Hit that pole, hoe. Hit. Have a good day.
Like a real OG.
Oh my God. What is something wrong with you?
Oh, but it was good. Yeah, it was good.
No, I mean, guilty. I do. I have wished that some people would have came by me speed. I'm like, damn, I wish they hit a pole. Or I want them to die. But I do want them to tear the frame off that car. But he said, hit that pole. There's something wrong with you, man. It's something wrong with you, Al. It's so wrong with you. Because I'll be so mad that I'm like, they'll have them bump outs in certain spots. And I'm like, dang, if it was a bump out just unexpectedly right there, dog, could tear this
Man,
car.
I could care less about Negroes tearing up their cars on those bump stops. Good, tear them up. I'm with you, Al.
I mean,
tear
that's
them
what
up.
I said. I had to just concede.
Tear them up.
I certainly have done it in the car. I'd be like, oh, I wish they hit something.
Oh, man, where you going?
Nowhere.
Where you going?
Well, sometimes y'all can be going a little slow.
It's called the speed limit, Negro.
It's called the law. It's called the law.
It's called
a little thing we like to call the law.
The speed limit.
Because we going too slow.
Debo, why you looking like you disappointed in me, bro?
Welcome to the program.
A lot of the young drivers you see, they don't know the first thing about a driver's license. They could care less. What do I need that for?
Like,
I wish I could just put that on.
It is illegal when you pass from the right.
Yeah,
that's
they don't
illegal
know
anyway.
the road.
Yeah, but let me say this:
So
I ain't putting this all on young people.
Oh, we already know it's some old.
It was some old Negroes out there, and you know who's the.
But they was young people who got.
Let me say this anecdotally, so this has not been empirically proven. All right, I'm only going to tell you what my experience was. If I have another sister up on my tail,
Another who?
sister,
What does that mean?
black women who get up on the tail of your car,
And then do what?
on the tail of your car, so I can stop suddenly. She's hitting me.
That's how they drive in St. Louis all the time.
We ain't in St.
The
Louis.
female drivers are
That's how they drive.
bad.
That right up on your
Like my
tail.
soror, that's a judge. Like they literally in St. Louis, they come right to the back of your bumper, and then they'll switch lanes. But you like look in your car, they be on your behind.
And I look around thinking,
It's the
well, this
places
a
they
dude,
drive
and I be
like
going
that.
like, nah, that's a woman. Call a woman to the program. We grinded my gears. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Oh,
Listen,
Did you say that on? Oh,
oh.
I hear you guys was talking about what is that?
hey man, do you have us on speaker or something, man? You earpiece or something? Something ain't right. Come on with it.
Okay, is that better, sir?
That's better.
Okay. Listen, we talk about those bump outs, and that's what called me to call in because Vision Zero is started out in California and it's here. We've adopted it. We're one of the cities that have adopted it. And it sounds good. Stop the reckless driving. And see, most of us have gotten older and we can see the danger in the speed that we ourselves used to do. I'm a speed demon. So I understand what's happening. I'm getting older and now I'm looking like the other people used to look at me. However, that Vision Zero is put in place to save lives, to stop the reckless driving. By 2030, something we want to have absolutely no accidents. Let me explain something to you. That's a joke. That's like removing all the trauma centers out of the inner city hospital, and we have to take a person way out to Freighter now. By the time they get there, he bleeds out. Let me tell you something about those speed bumps. First of all, if a motorcycle cop is in pursuit of anybody, he got to stop and slow down. When an ambulance has got a body in the car and they're trying to get him to Freighter or get him wherever they got to get him, it could be seconds, okay, to save the life. If he would have been here 10 seconds, a minute later, a couple minutes later, we could have saved him. See, the other side of that whole deal is in its place in the inner city. We got a few of them on the outskirts of town, but they're focusing on inner cities.
Have you been out? Because one of the traffic mitigation Meech.
How many lives is that taking? See, we always giving up something. We always trying to get something, but we giving up something. And we giving up more than we're gonna ever get out that deal because just a second more, or when the police is in high pursuit of somebody, they can't run over past them speed bumps. They got to keep stopping too. So we've given up something, but look what we've encountered.
Well, let me say this: traffic mitigation is going on all over the country, and you can go out to these outlining. What they do in the outlining areas is these roundabouts. That's traffic mitigation because they had all kind of accidents at intersections, uncontrolled intersections. So traffic mitigation is everywhere. When you go down to Evanston, they got speed bumps all over. Traffic mitigation.
Road, you got them roundabouts.
I got the roundabouts, all of that, man, because the reckless driving. So look, if you're driving recklessly and you lose your life, that's on you.
Keith, do you understand that the lives that those bumps and stuff cause people to lose their lives because they can't make it in time? Listen, brother, this is all boiled down to what they call 15-minute cities. Why do you think we got scooters everywhere? Do you think this electric movement, they want 15-minute cities, brother? Do you understand all these bike lanes and stuff? And guess what? They create the bike lane. If the wrong police officer pull you over because you done got over him one, that's a $350 fine, man, just to be over there in that little bicycle lane. Now check this here out. You are so logical in your thinking that you don't do no reasoning, man. You have to be able to
be logical and not reasonable.
Put some
you
reasoning
can't do that.
To what's going on. 15-minute cities is what they're trying to do all over the
We
country.
need to slow the traffic down, man.
Just
Well, yeah, but we need to
man,
slow the traffic down because people are dying.
I don't know. I do a lot of research when I'm laying at home. A lot of people think I just be doing nothing, and the information that I be getting don't just come off of these social media programs. Sometimes you have to really look at something, go outside the box and search it for yourself, and you'll realize 15-minute cities is where we're going. Don't think them scooters just popped up because, oh, it's a nice idea. No, brother, this is serious business going on. But
well, the less and less we use combustible engines, the better for the climate. That's part of it. So the scooters, and primarily they would put them in areas like downtown. Younger people don't have a car. There's a whole lot that we're trying to. But they're trying to do to mitigate the impact we're having on the planet. The other piece of it is when you look at the reckless driving piece, Michelle is right. They call it baselining. When you pass on the right, okay, so now try passing on the right. It ain't gonna happen. You're gonna tear up your car. Okay. And so I said, okay. So thank you, Meech, but thank you. Caller, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you guys. I think, can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm getting an echo out. I have you on speaker. One moment.
And then turn the volume down a little bit on your phone. That's
I
also
did that.
There you go.
Yes, it's fine now. Anybody who doesn't know that logic and reasoning are family members, nearly synonym.
You, brother.
You know, that's self-explanatory that most of the points that they make. And, you know, earlier I heard the same individual who does, as we know, support a man who talks about Arnold Palmer's penis, who is accused of rape, and you don't mention him. So obviously he would be a homosexual in Meech's opinion, because he wants to say that pedophiles are all homosexuals or majority homosexuals. So include the individual who he supports as being the leader of this country. And, you know, that negates many of the points in his sources of research, which are all very much slanted. Red, where he probably gets a lot of green from, because I see Robin Voss nearly rubbing his head like Donald Trump did Kanye just by driving by MLK.
Hold on, pause just a moment. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Is Robin Voss in trouble politically? You
No.
be able to keep his seat? Okay. All right, go on, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's the last time I saw him. This brother was dressed like Cat Williams on steroids, but he always talks about the brother who called before him, and anybody who doesn't think like he thinks. And that's something that we have to get away from, because it is not reasoning or logic to think that everybody has to think and feel like you, or that black people, as you state many times, Keith, are a monolith. And that's what I have for today.
Appreciate you.
Thank you all. God bless.
Me and Rhonda was arguing last night, and Michelle this is why she is such a great colleague to have. Michelle said how we talk about things, the words we use become real important. So last night, he said there was a significant number of black men who were supporting. I said, 10% ain't significant. When did 10% become significant? It is not. It's not. But, you know, I think we're from the point, and the point the brother is making, it should be 100% for us, right? I mean, but that ain't the reality.
But contextually, though, it can be a factor when you talk about
a margin
11,
race.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because,
but what I'm saying is, if I look
but in
at
general, no. If you look at percentages,
and Republicans always got 6 to 10%. Donald Trump has did better. I think George Bush said 6%. You know, and then here's the other piece of it. We got spoiled. I don't know if there's going to be another Obama in our lifetime, right? In terms of what he represented, how he was able to.
No, because Trump said he looks exhausted now.
Who?
He looks tired. That's what Trump said about Obama yesterday.
He wore his ass out in Madison. He didn't look that tired to me.
He said when he was on the stage rapping with Eminem, he just looks exhausted and tired.
The crazy thing was when Obama got finished, he said, "I'm out." He said, "I'm out."
I'm just saying.
Oh, he was wearing them out, man.
The 78-year-old said the 63-year-old looked exhausted. The 63-year-old who's been physically fit his entire life.
Oh man.
At least he's been slim.
Still can fit in his high school gym suit.
I'm just saying.
Still can fit.
I'm just saying. And why Booty Trump said You ever see the back of him when he been over to pick up a golf ball?
But someone said something to me though.
It's like an eclipse.
And this is probably why the race. This is why the race is so close. You really have to. I don't want to use the word shout out, but they were pointing out that Trump is all over the place.
Yeah.
Trump speaking.
Right.
But the campaign, the actual campaign has stayed focused, right? So they're messaging in terms of the ads and all those things, in spite of him.
I mean,
right?
but they've only had two messages: the economy and
but then they can go in and the picture that they've been able to paint for certain people, Kamala Harris, it's been effective.
It's only been the two issues, though.
I mean,
which are really not issues. Border crossings are at a low,
they've been
and the economy has recovered.
Yeah,
and the economy,
right? But it's recovered.
And these are people, to the point that Al made. Some of these people just being lazy, man. You regurgitate, and somebody said, "No, people are paying more at the pump." No, you're not. Gas is less than $3 in most cases, unless you drive premium.
Right.
No, you're not. Well, eggs is as high. They not as high as they was during COVID. And that's not something that these people control. Like,
I think last night, though, I don't know if you watched the town hall, but there was a moment in the town hall last night where I thought it was a missed opportunity. This guy asked a question. He was an independent Democrat. He's leaning towards voting for her. And he asked the question, well, whose fault is it that we dealt with the economy we dealt with? My answer would have been, of course, I'm not running for president, would have been, it's nobody's fault. It's what you do, because there were factors that happened that's outside of the control of the president. What you're judged on is how you react and respond, right? COVID was going to happen whether.
So that's why, as
Hillary Clinton was president,
I would have given your answer. I would have tapped onto what you said in the second part of your response when it said, whose fault is it for the economy that we're dealing with? So to say, first of all, we got these outside circumstances, i.e. COVID, that comes in and potentially has the ability to decimate everything. How you responded, which is now where I can assign blame or fault, is all the factors in the world in terms of how we recover, how we navigate, how we get through. He handled it so badly that we end up getting a lot of the stuff that we did.
But
I'm putting blame on him.
No, I mean politically, you did it.
Yeah.
You gave the political answer. I'm giving what I think is a logical and reasonable answer. Nobody is at fault for when things happen. The fault is once it happens, what do you do?
But the question is, who is at fault for the economy that we have? That was the question. And so he is at fault for the economy that we have because you did not respond appropriately. That was the question.
I think a lot of it, an honest answer would have been, a lot of it is outside of the control of the president. It was the Federal Reserve who raised the interest rates to deal with inflation.
But it was more than just that dealt with inflation, because when the economy was so much more. And this is the thing that we have to be careful about too, is lay people think of economy very differently from business people and people in the industry.
And micro.
Right. They're talking about the cost of their eggs.
Right.
And
that's micro.
Gas and blah, blah, blah.
Micro.
So, when you're giving those answers, you got to think about who is my audience, because I'm speaking at a 30,000 foot level when I should be speaking at a micro level.
And let me say this, in one of my conversations with the vice president, she said that I understand you got the macro, but people are reacting to the micro.
Right.
How is impacting me. I think he was asking a very general conversation.
So I do get to blame you, because I can talk to these manufacturers about price gouging and what we're doing to deal with the, with meeting cost and demand.
And we saw how there was a very different response to COVID, where Trump was in denial, act like it doesn't exist.
Yeah, put some bleach.
Keep it open. Keep businesses
Drink some
open.
Bleach and get clean.
People dying. Biden was saying no.
Right.
This is real.
I mean, even when you look at the things that were done around the country, but here in Milwaukee, which I still am lamenting, this restaurant with all their crap in the street. But, how do we come up with workarounds to be able to make these businesses, help these businesses stay open? How do we infuse dollars into the community? What can we do to make sure that people can continue to operate and do business? So how you respond to it is everything. And if you miss those steps,
right,
you get this crazy situation.
And I agree with that. But I'm saying, but again, on a macro level, it's not just policies, it's policies of the Fed. It is what's happening with petroleum. It is what's going on in China. You know, you have other economies, and because we're in this global economy, the virus might have started in China and infected the whole world.
But even, and I know y'all got to go, you up against a break, but even just the conversation about this idiot talking about tariffs. Like, this is an individual who does not understand how the economy works.
And where did he go to school? Did he go to Wharton?
But he just got in because of money and who his daddy was.
And just in case people don't know, Wharton is part of the University School of Business, one of the best business schools in the country. Let me shout out Arthur Gardner Smith, who is a proud graduate of the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania.
Put on these tariffs and not appreciating that at the end of the day, the only people getting ready to eat that is American taxpayers.
And what happened when he put the tariffs on? What did they do? They being the Chinese, we're not going to buy soybean.
Yeah.
So who did that impact?
Tit for tat.
Right. And it impacted farmers. And then what did he have to do? Quietly go in and give them money. Supplement them. And nobody talks about that type of welfare. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, this man does not understand. That's why it's so frustrating to listen to all these people talk about, oh, Donald Trump is good for the economy. Donald Trump don't understand the economy at all.
And what did Barry say? Barry said, yeah, it's the economy. I left him. Gotta love Barack Obama. Callers, we see you. We're going to grab you right after the break. We'll be right back. Yeah, I was once lost. And the crazy thing was that
He's not a Don Lemon fan. I've never been.
I don't know what Don Lemon got against women.
I didn't like him on CNN. He used to just be so extra to me, just so extra.
But but I used to love to watch him on New Year's Eve. Because depending on where they were, I'm trying to think the year they was in New Orleans, and they got ripped. Or with Anderson Cooper, because who was the dude that's with him now? Crazy guy, Andy somebody. But man, they were taking shots, and by the end, and you know when Anderson Cooper does that giggle,
right?
Yeah, he giggling. It's like, man, they got wasted. Well, and I'm trying to think of the ones a year that they were in Colorado, and they were smoking. It was like, wow. Okay.
I just don't never watch him like that. But no, I just have never. And like my mother, God rest her soul, if she heard me, my mom would call up here and check me right now because Don Lemon was her boy.
Talk about little Donnie.
But I just never was a fan. Like I just don't like CNN a lot.
Okay.
I think that they do a much better job comprehensively. MSNBC becomes tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You know, so every show will have the same topics. Told.
You know, it was really surprising. I was BBC, and how conservative leaning the BBC is in terms of their reporting. Now, BBC is great if you want to know what's going on in Africa,
right?
If you want to know what's going on in Asia, it's the BBC. I mean, it's BBC does a whole segment in the evening on African affairs,
right?
And so we get a sense of that. And you said something on your program that is so true. That Americans, when it comes to foreign policy in other countries, we are ignorant. But it was something that a Serbian brother told me many, many years ago. Because I was really into, oh man, I watched the BBC. He said it's all propaganda. Now he's from an Eastern European country. He says it's all propaganda. And he's right. That's why during the convention,
even MSNBC is.
Yes. Doing the DNC and RNC. I didn't watch CNN. I didn't watch MSNBC. I went to their live feed, right? Because then there's no commentary there. Now, I understand, obviously the shots that they're shooting are advantageous for them in terms of, but I'm just getting what's going on the floor. Then it's up to me to say, okay, because the one day I did cover the RNC was the first day when Trump went over the top. So I was there when he went over the top in the arena. That was strange. I've never been to a Democratic convention.
There is some benefit in, having those commentators and those people present because of the research teams that they have at hand, not just the fact-checking piece, they're also able to bring in information that we've either forgotten, we didn't know. Like they'll say, oh my God, like just think about Ukraine and Russia. And everybody like, well, what's going on? And then there are people to provide that backstory, how we got here. Even if you understand it can be told from a slant, depending on who's telling it. But there are just, now you can go back and research and be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know. This goes back to 2014. I didn't know. So there's something to be said for some of these people. But you just got to understand. When you tune in, take it with a grain of salt. I felt
like I needed Al Jazeera.
Oh, yeah.
When October the 7th happened. And this is not to minimize the impact of October the 7th. But the fascinating, and I kind of went back to even with George Floyd, because now we talk about Don Lemon and others who were Black folks who are sitting up dealing with something. But the number of Jewish folks, where you have Wolf Blitzer, whose grandparents were either killed in the Holocaust or Holocaust survivors.
But the thing was,
Andrew Mitchell is
they didn't
Jewish.
remove none of them people from the air. When these network, and see, that's that point that pisses me off with network television and a lot of these different places, because Black reporters came out overwhelmingly talking about networks and even newspaper outlets were removing them from the conversations because they felt like they were going to bring a bias. Right. It was going to be a slant in the way they reported it. But when all of this stuff happened with Israel, Jewish people were not only were they not removed from reporting, they were given additional time. They were highlighted. You the subject matter experts. You can come in and help us better understand these issues. And I'm sitting here looking at the hypocrisy of it all.
And then if you got a Palestinian perspective,
yeah,
it was in the last segment of the program.
Well, nobody really trying to hear that.
Right. And so you
just needed to be able to check a box and pretend we gave fair time to it. And so that was one of the things, and you have not heard a ton of people talk about that. But that, yep, when it came to Black folks, we couldn't be the ones reporting out on George Floyd protests and stuff because we were going to have a bias. But when it came to Israel, bring in all of our Jewish staff, the Jewish mail carrier, the errand boy, and let everybody tell their story and their perspective and how they connected. It's just frustrating. And then I'm gonna just tell y'all real quick before I walk out this door, like I'm paying attention to this stuff. Like, we're creating the all of a sudden now it's all this talk locally. We're creating the Jewish African American Alliance. We're creating we're creating these networks. And I'm just like, well, where these alliances been before?
Oh, we did have Jewish Black Alliance.
Yeah, but
Civil
I mean,
rights.
but come on now. Some of this is very strategic.
Right.
And then
But we shouldn't say Jewish as much as it is Israeli.
well, yeah, I think that's
they're doing
more,
it on behalf of that.
That's what because this isn't about the religion itself.
It's about
the country
in support of Israel.
Yep. And so then I'm like, well, where's the Palestinian African American Alliance? Where that group at?
Right.
And so that kind of stuff just irritates me when I'm watching it. And I'm like, people think we stupid and we don't see what's happening, that we're being used to an extent to be able to help tell a story.
Right.
But the story is not complete. It's not complete.
Because if you listen to the narrative of October 7th, and
everything started on October 7th,
right.
if you depending on who you talk to.
It wasn't the 16-year siege of Gaza, where you had a whole generation of young men, particularly, who grew up under that occupation.
And the number of people that Israel has imprisoned.
Young men.
Yes.
Young men.
Because I'm worried about you being a potential threat,
right.
a future threat.
Right.
It's like asinine. So I'm like, y'all tripping and rightfully so about the loss of these 1,200 people. But y'all, it's thousands of people who have been whisked away to prisons. I'm just saying, if we're going to tell a story, tell the whole story.
But then
try to be as fair about this as you can.
The U.S. is U.S. foreign policy. And U.S. foreign policy is very supportive of Israel. Maybe overly supportive of Israel, to the point where Netanyahu feels unbridled because he realizes that, let's say, and the threat that was made was they were going to shut off munitions. Now, supposedly, they're not using American munitions in Gaza yet. NGOs have found American munitions that they've been using. And so then the question becomes, and this gets frustrating for people, but what has been happening in Gaza, not so much on the West Bank, but certainly in Gaza, is where if South Africans petition the World Court to have it, South Africans know apartheid. It's like Black Americans of a certain age know hyper segregation. I'm not talking about what we're dealing with now, or housing. I'm talking about where there were laws on the books, right? Enforced, codified. So we understand that there's a sympathy then for that. Do I justify what happened on October the 7th? No. But I do know that it did not happen in a vacuum, that this took years and years. It's like when we had the insurrections in our communities in the 60s. That was years and years of frustration, particularly
just like the George Floyd protests.
Right.
You watch one too many unarmed Black men be killed, or Black person be killed, and this stuff finally bubbles over. It was just a matter of time before some of this stuff happened. But the only thing I just ask people to do is, if you're going to have a story, have the whole story, understand the bias that you bring to the table when you have these conversations. And just like right now, what's happening in Lebanon, so you take out an apartment building, and they had, bases of operations inside the apartment building. Okay, that's cool. I understand it. But how many people am I killing, and how much am I destroying because I'm trying to root out this particular issue? And it's just becoming indiscriminate. There will be nothing left.
Netanyahu is trying to provoke a conflict with Iran so they can go in and take out their nuclear capability. This is the whole pretense of it. This is going and talking about Hezbollah. You go in, of course, you take out Hezbollah, but Hezbollah is subsidized by Iran, right? and
this is where their main, financial.
And when you look at the
from.
so-called the issue, because I think the majority of Muslims in Palestine are probably Sunni. Where's Saudi Arabia? Well, Saudi Arabia got taken off the table with the Abraham Accords, because what it did was Israel said we will normalize relations with you, okay, and so then support, and then Egypt. Let's talk about Egypt here. Egypt is fearful because if they open their borders, right, you're going to have all these Palestinians in, and the Egyptians feel like, well, when the Palestinians come, they don't leave. Well, why would I want to go back? It's like the people leaving Haiti to come here because of all that's going on in Haiti. Why would I want to go back to Haiti?
But I mean, not just not leave, but they also are worried, about then do you see groups pop up there, and then so you got some of the same fighting going on,
because I think there is this Islamic Brotherhood,
right?
That's
so now I got to come to the region and deal with this same.
And do they align themselves with the Islamic Brotherhood?
It expands, it grows. Right now, Egypt feels like they got a pretty good handle on what's going on, but this has the ability to go off the rails.
You got a pretty grasp of what's going on internationally.
You sound like it. Yes.
You do.
Oh no, I don't. No.
I had to, because in
don't.
my political science emphasis was on foreign affairs, because the chairman of our political science department, Dr. Emil Nakli, was a Lebanese Christian, but his background was on the Middle East and primarily on Bahrain. We had never heard of Bahrain. And he ended up going to the State Department.
Okay.
And, dealing with Bahrain. So that's why I read the New York Times, because on Sunday we had to read the New York Times. Of course, being in Maryland, we read the Washington Post, but the New York Times is the newspaper of record when it comes to. So, but if you go through, and I don't do it as much now, the first section of the New York Times is all international news.
All international.
And most Americans don't pay attention to international news until something happens, like oil embargo that we dealt with in the 70s, the formation of OPEC, right? And what people are able to do. And look, the issue is not religion. The issue is land. It has always been land and resources.
Land, power.
That's why you fight wars. You don't fight wars over religion. Now, the combatants are religious, and they might use religion to rally you, but you taking land. When they talked about that caliphate, those folks were taking land. And they were getting land that was getting close to oil fields.
Yeah, religion is always the front, just like even here in the States, when you talked about slavery, Christianity, civil wars, blah, blah, blah. Religion was the front.
Right.
Religion was used to control
Christian nationalism.
and to ramp people up.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you got folks.
Because if God said it,
that's right. That's right.
If God is on my
but
side.
The people who infuse religion, they knew exactly what they was doing.
Of course.
They throw their hand and hide the ball. We got people thinking you fighting a fight about this.
Right.
But we in the background know who control the resources, trying to control them. It's about something very, very different. To your point, land, power, resources, money, access.
And then you look at all the players. When they were having the civil war in Angola, I think it was Gulf Oil was there. And the two different groups were fighting, right? America said, y'all fight all you want, but you leave the oil fields alone, right? Because Gulf Oil,
right,
American corporation at that point. So I think when we look at things, understand segregation that we see here, there's an economic impact of that.
An incentive for
right. It's negative for the people who are being abused. I just saw something about the toughest places to rent in the country, and Milwaukee is number 3.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, above Manhattan.
Did they say why?
Because there's such a demand for housing.
Okay.
Right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
And then when you look at what the housing stock is, okay, if you want to get in a decent place, it becomes very competitive.
Okay, no, I just wondered if any factors like race or
yes, all those things factor in terms of, that's what I'm saying. And so depending on where you're trying to rent, sorry about that.
Well, you probably getting caught on camera. I don't know.
Let's hope not. Anyway, caller, welcome to the program. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey.
This question is for Michelle.
Yeah.
It goes with her conversation with Meach this morning.
Okay.
And Meach was talking about homophobia and homosexuals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the question. If Donald Trump is now talking about men's penises,
Exactly.
does that make him a homosexual or a bisexual?
There's a third alternative too. Dude in the locker room.
No. My question is he a homosexual or a bisexual?
I mean, if we follow Meech's line of questioning, he's either one. He can be either one. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anybody been in a locker room where people are showering, you are exposed literally.
You ain't looking.
We understand.
Some people
that,
you can't.
But how many times did you come out the locker room when you was playing football and say, "Wow, that guy's got a big one"? How many times did you do that, Keith?
Did I come out the locker room saying that, or did I say it to myself? I said it to myself. I don't know if I came out the locker room, but I was like, "Damn, that ain't fair."
Did you say it out loud? Did you say it out loud? Did you tell somebody else, say, "Wow, look at that"?
No, man, I wouldn't go, but I'm too embarrassed. But I'm going like, how could you not know? It's like, I was so shy, man, when I got to the 7th grade, because the 7th grade is when we started taking showers at school, right? And man, I used to be real embarrassed going in to take my shower. They used to give us towels. I forgot all about that.
I understand, but I'm not talking about you taking a shower. I'm asking you a question. Did you ever say that guy had a big one to somebody else?
Not to somebody else.
Okay.
Did you ever say it to yourself?
All over the place.
Did you ever say it to yourself?
Is Donald Trump a bisexual or a homosexual?
No, he's a dude in the locker room. But I'm saying, if we all got eyes. It ain't like we sit up there blind and you not spending a whole lot of time looking, but there used to be a dude that walked through where I used to work out, and I'd be just like, wow. No, I don't even, here we go. I ain't gonna even look at dude.
All of me loves all of you.
Oh Lord. Oh, not him. Not my boy.
You're perfect.
What they're doing is they're reacting to a John Legend commercial that's playing. And I'm not even gonna look at him.
It's a Citibank. He just got to go it up.
Man,
I give my all to you.
Because of Coming to America too. That crib he was in when he was doing. Did he do Soul Glow? No, he did. He didn't do Soul Glow. He did the Here Comes the Queen.
I have never seen Coming to America too.
You don't need to. You don't need to.
Check out on that. We're gonna try to get this last caller. Right?
Yeah, the credits are the best part of the movie. Caller, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Mr. Parris. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, brother Christopher.
This should be interesting.
To you all, not you all. I say this about if you in the locker room and you a dude, and you talking like that about other dudes, you probably gonna get beat up by some dudes.
Or get a boyfriend.
Somebody gonna do something bad to you. You don't go in no shower checking out dudes and you a dude. Right. If you got brothers, you probably should understand this. You know what I mean? But
Christopher.
Christopher. If I come out the shower and you talking about my Peter, I'm gonna be like, you a straight up homo. I don't give a damn what you say.
Okay.
Straight up.
Point taken.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I think nothing more could be said behind that.
Let me thank Michelle, Debo. Thank you, Carvey. Thank you. And let me thank you all for yesterday, because we went from feast to famine. People like Kwaku and Lisa, what you bussing people in? But hey, that's a great line. The Republican from Chicago, they paid for his bus ticket up. I love that one. I don't know who did that one, but that's a good one. Because anybody rode on Greyhound, ooh, man, you don't want to do Greyhound. Hey, the good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. We hope to talk to everybody tomorrow. And as always, go from this place in peace.